Welcome, everyone. My name's Nathan Donaldson. I'm one of the governors of Ravensbourne. I'm here to welcome you on behalf of the board, guests, and the mayor. I'm standing in today for our chair of governors, John Drury, who unfortunately can't be here because of a funeral. John is really passionate about Ravensbourne, so I know he's really very upset that he can't be here and has asked me to pass on his apologies to you all. At Ravensbourne, we are really passionate about education. And education is so important. It's important for our personal development. It's important for our students having the sounding board to getting a career of their choice. And it's also so important for the betterment of society. Malcolm X said, "Education is the passport to our future, for tomorrow belongs to those people who prepare for it today." So today is a really important day, not just for our graduates, who are all there, look fantastic, but also for all of the friends, family, and staff at Ravensbourne that have enabled today to occur and for students to fulfill their best potential. So when we're going to be applauding today, and believe me, we are going to be doing a lot of applauding. We are not just applauding for our graduates, we're applauding for their friends, their family, and Ravensbourne that have supported them. So do remember that when the hands are going to get tired. It's also a very important time for Ravensbourne in Ravensbourne history. And I'm very, very excited to announce that Ravensbourne has been successful as a result of a lot of hard work and planning in being awarded its own degree awarding powers, and has also recently applied for an independent university title. And it's our director, Professor Linda Drew, and her team that have worked so hard to achieve that. And on behalf of the Board of Governors, I want to express our thanks and appreciation to you and to your team for the hard work that has achieved that. Finally, I would like to introduce our director, Professor Linda Drew, to stand and join me. I've worked with Linda for a number of years, and she is so passionate about the institution and its students. So please do give her a very warm welcome.
Thank you, Nathan, and good afternoon, everybody. Welcome here to the Barbican, and welcome particularly to the Mayor of the Royal Borough of Greenwich, our friends and guests from the University of the Arts London, and to all of you, the graduands, your families, and all your friends. So welcome formally to Ravensbourne's graduation ceremony 2017. As Director of Ravensbourne, I'm completely privileged and honoured to lead the ceremonies today. It's been another remarkable year for us. I am going to share some of those remarkable events We've got a huge amount to celebrate. But before I move on to those, I just wanted to say a few thanks, first of all. I think you'll all agree a huge thanks has to go particularly to your course leaders, your subject tutors, and the wider academic community at Ravensbourne. Alongside them, many graduates have had the support of other study skills, welfare, and employment support staff as well. So a big thank you to all of them. But for nearly all of us, there's always the unsung heroes who've helped contribute to our achievements. And I want to thank those unsung heroes today. And who are you? Most of you are sitting here behind the graduates. You're the mums and the dads, the grandparents, the guardians, the siblings, the boyfriends, the girlfriends, the friends, and all the family members who've quietly and unselfishly given your time and support to students graduating today. Thank you all. I'm going to give you a little round of applause. Thank you so much. Actually, somebody worked out where I got my next reference from. I was watching the Michael McIntyre show on Saturday, Guilty Pleasure, and I was reminded on that programme of the song by M People, now mums and dads might remember this, called Search for the Hero, when I was thinking about you today. And the words go a little bit like this. I won't give you the whole rendition, and I certainly won't try to do Heather Small. You've got to search for the hero inside yourself. Search for the secrets you hide. Search for the hero inside yourself until you find the key to your life. And there's a message there for graduates, not just for those family and friends that are in that hero supporting role. The message in the lyrics are, that's why you should keep on aiming high. Just seek yourself and you will shine. That's why it's been an incredible journey for all of you and also for Ravensbourne over the last 3 years of your journey, or year if you're a postgraduate student. I'm going to give you just a little edited set of highlights of some of the things that we're particularly proud of at Ravensbourne, and also about you, the graduating students, about some of the awards, not all, but some of the awards that we've had a great pleasure to celebrate. So this year, as well as gaining taught degree awarding powers in August, we got what's known as a Silver TEF award. That's the Teaching Excellence Framework. And what does that mean? What does Silver TEF mean to us? It means a huge amount. It means that we've got excellent student learning outcomes, and that means the things that you go away with from your degree. It means we've got very high continuation rates. That means students that finish their courses and continue into further study. We also are recognised in that for very strong, widening participation, students from non-traditional backgrounds, but also particularly in our TEF award, is a recognition that one of the things that we do and we're really, really good at is practice-based learning. And that's something that really has helped our employability rate. We've run 2 amazing festivals this year. Some of you will have seen them. The Mozilla Festival, which some of the students will remember from last year, where they were back again and they're back again next year. And also a new festival called Wonky, which sounds a bit weird, but it's actually policy wonks from the higher education policy sector. And we were able to welcome the Minister for Higher Education, Jo Johnson, to our campus, really to demonstrate exactly what it's like working in a specialist institution like ours. And they're coming back in 2018 as well. We've got some very, very interesting work going on with the launch of the Holler Portal, which looks like a sort of strange shed in the front of the building. The Holler Portal really focuses on the work of the incubation company Double Me, but focuses on mixed reality with virtual reality and augmented reality blended with the use of a Microsoft HoloLens. And blended with that, we also had our second Virtual Reality UK Festival this year. And this really gives you a flavour of the kind of things that, that we do are not always exactly straightforward in terms of the subject focus. One of the things we're also proud of is how we support our students. And this year we signed the commitment to the standalone pledge, and that is a pledge that supports students from what are known as estranged backgrounds, where they don't have family support. This year I was also very honoured to be clothed, which is very similar to this kind of thing. I was clothed as a liveryman of the Worshipful Company of Stationers and Newspaper Makers. That's the company that supports the digital and content industries. And in that area, we're also proud that we welcomed back a very near neighbour to here, the Royal Shakespeare Company, who are based here at the Barbican in their London home. They came back to us for the 6th year in a row, very, very pertinent to the School of Media, because for the 6th year in a row, we've been broadcasting in collaboration with them Shakespeare to schools around the world. It's a Shakespeare live stream broadcast, which includes a bit of programming filmed within the Ravensbourne studio. We had a fantastic Startup Europe event this year where we showcased new business startups and growing enterprises, and that also demonstrates our real commitment to engendering an entrepreneurial spirit. And I know that many of the graduates here will not just have started up their own companies, but I know that some people were doing a bit of it even when they were undergraduates. We've got some formal recognition as well with the degree awarding powers, and in excess of it, we've been accredited this year both by the Architects Registration Board, which is called the ARB, and also the Textile Institute, and we've launched our first validated course, the Masters in Architecture. We couldn't do this without what have been and still are some amazing partnerships. The partnership work we do takes us down the road to Greenwich, but also much, much further afield. So I just wanted to say a few thank yous to those names you might recognise. We're particularly grateful to those local and regional partners, the Royal Borough of Greenwich, and in particular Digital Greenwich, the O2, which is our neighbour in the tent next door, and the Peninsula Property Developers, Night Dragon, international partners in Toronto with OCAD University, and in the United States at the University of Colorado, with Mozilla, as mentioned before, the Royal Shakespeare Company, Marks & Spencer, the BBC, and I could go on, but I won't. I'll come back to mention the Stationers' Company again, because not only do we have a connection with them as part of our membership and links with the company, but we also receive some fantastic support from the Stationers' Company. They fund a Stationers' bursary for the postgraduate programme, and we continue to play a very active role in the development of the Stationers' Crownwoods Academy in Eltham, which is also in the Borough of Greenwich. And that's a school which seeks to encourage in its students careers in the creative and content industries because of the links with the Stationers. Now, let me tell you a little bit about how stunning some of our graduates are. Like I said, I'm not going to read out all of the awards we've received this year, but we've been really blessed this year with some fantastic awards and trophies. The one that I do have to mention first of all was the Guild of Television Camera Professionals, the Bill Vinton Award, the University Trophy, and that was most unexpected but very well done to the students that were responsible for that. And that was based on the overall high quality of student submissions to the award, including films submitted by, and I hope you're here, Olivia Norman-Reed, James Sheridan-Vigor and Peter Bishop, and they're all students of the BA Hons Digital Film Production. Well done. And it gets better. Alumnus Alex Brzezinski won an Emmy for his work on the Grease Live US show. Joe Thompson, a BA Honours digital photography student, was named the ultimate graduate travel advisor by Compare the Market. And ironically, or rather fittingly, he's not attending today. as he's travelling with his £10,000 prize money. It's about right, really. We have a BA Honours Digital Film Production student, alum Charlotte Regan and Jack Hunnan were nominated at the BAFTAs in LA for their film Standby. And we had fantastic degree show successes this year and in the postgraduate show, which for the first time has been included in the London Design Festival. So I just want to say a really big thanks to the students first of all, but to our partners and all our staff who've made this year a year to remember. Thank you. I'm going to tell you a little bit of a story, not too much, just a little bit of a story, about when I was an undergraduate student and what this kind of thing meant to me. I was an undergraduate student of fashion design, just in case you're wondering, and I thought it was really important to me to become the very best designer that I could. But when I look back on those student years and think about my undergraduate years and what I learned from that, I realised I learned so much more than being a good designer. I know those years helped me become a self-reliant, resilient, independent, critical thinking, and resourceful person. The creativity literally leaked out of my sketchbook because we didn't have laptops back in those days, and into the way that I lead my life. I like to think that if there's an off-piste way of thinking about it, that will be the way that I think about it. That creativity helped me to deal with a whole range of things, with change, with ambiguity, and with flexibility, if not always with absolute ease. That critical thinking led me to go on to work in many design environments, but also to learn to do completely new things. I learned how to teach, to lead, and also to use digital technology, almost like a millennial. Anyway, we know, and this is going to be a recurring theme, a lot of people are going to talk about this today, you've got much uncertainty ahead of you, but that's okay, you know. See it as a welcome challenge, because you, of all people, are equipped with the skills and the critical thinking you need to deal with both the creative industries and the changing society and economic world ahead. So I'd like to say this to our graduating students today. I hope this is not the end of your journey with Ravensbourne, but the beginning of a new one. We want to know how your life develops as you go on. We like to hear those stories about how successful you've been or how you're doing something just a little bit unusual. You know, you might not be going on in to do things that are in your subject area. But we do know, one thing we do know 6 months after graduation is that 19 out of 20 of you, to be precise, go on to employment, self-employment or further study, and some of you will become or even work with household names. Some will succeed in many other ways that are so brilliant that we can't imagine. But whatever happens, we know that Ravensbourne will be there to continue to support you as a member of our alumni community. And remember, when those photos are taken, I know you've already been taking thousands of photos already today, haven't you? Probably trending on Twitter. But wherever you put them, whether you put them on Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Insta, Tumblr, wherever you put these things, remember you're graduating from a world-class institution. We call it our Ravensbourne. You carry our name and our reputation with you. I'm now going to move on because every year at graduation, we have the pleasure of being able to confer a small number of awards to really outstanding individuals who've made a real impact in their respective industries and or to Ravensbourne. So I'd like to move on to introducing the award of Professor Emeritus, which I'm very pleased to confer on Jeremy Barr. Jeremy, would you like to come up? I'm going to say something about you. You can stand wherever you like. Okay, good. This is Jeremy Barr. He's been on the teaching staff since the mid-1970s, and he's a visiting professor in broadcasting and convergent media since 2001. Professor Barr's contribution to the development of undergraduate and postgraduate provision at Ravensbourne in the domain of broadcasting and contextual studies is almost unparalleled. As a practitioner, both in the UK and in Europe, as well as a teacher and consultant professional trainer, his championing of this institution is known and respected by everyone connected with Ravensbourne. As a subject leader, he developed the first two-year honours degree as an accelerated course of academic study in the UK in the field of emergent media. It is notable that some of our most illustrious alum have come through Jeremy's hands, with graduates that include Oscar and Emmy Award winners in their number. He continues to play a leading role in the evolution of Ravensbourne's portfolio of postgraduate courses and currently leads on the postgraduate research process unit that nurtures a diversity of creative research in the subject pathways. Jeremy worked in broadcasting in the BBC and ITV in the UK, narrowcasting in Canada, and consultancies including DRTV. His research interests are driven by the study of the evolution of applied technologies in relation to issues of identity and memory in society, past, present, and future. He's been an external examiner to an array of courses at both undergraduate and postgraduate level in higher education, in England and in Scotland, and he continues to work in that field as a consultant. And how does he relax? He relaxes studying cinema and history, both with a bias to European cultures. It's a busman's holiday, Jeremy. Jeremy is extremely well respected and a well-loved member of staff at Ravensbourne, as well as within the wider broadcast industry. It is a testament to his generosity in sharing his wisdom and knowledge that so many of his students come back to Ravensbourne year after year as they pursue their careers. I'm delighted to confer the award of Professor Emeritus on Jeremy Barr today.
This is a day on which I must express first my appreciation to Professor Linda Drew, the governors, the deans, my colleagues who are members of the academic board, all the members of the Department of Production who have supported me in all its opportunities during the past 3 years, and above all, to any student who has chosen to adventure on a journey of learning across the honours degree courses that what we call today production in the School of Media at Ravensbourne. I offer my warm-hearted thanks to all. And this is a great honour that's been conferred on me. And in using those two words, great honour, two questions must come into mind. The first, surely, what have I done in my professional life to deserve this honour? The second, if this is to be truly great, how best to share this, to move from I to talking about us. And by us, I mean the collegiate community that sits in the word Ravensbourne, poised as it is at this point in its history to take steps into futures, offering a promise of the new, every bit as exciting as the past 50 years of its journey in higher education. And today, I would wish to share with you two words, resilience and advocacy. Two words that affirm the crucial importance of recognizing that the exercise of emotional intelligence is key to the behavior of every single person in this space of creativity today. Resilience and advocacy. What of any value might I say with reference to those two words with regard to my own career to date? How have they worked for me? Well, in many ways, those two words over the past 40 or more years have galvanized my own career in industry and education, rather as two dance partners must work as one to achieve anything of note. maybe for a moment think strictly, but in the spirit of creative collaboration that is the dance floor rather than the lecture theatre. Many agendas over years of change and challenge, personal as well as professional. The first of those agendas gave me the excitement of working in the BBC, a world-class broadcaster and, on its best days, a centre of challenge to assumptions about those who might think that they ran the country. Later, working for others in ITV, cable television and new media, bent on challenging monopoly of spectrum and audience, I've never been afraid to try to ask questions. And yet, was I really predestined to work in the best place to develop further skills in learning, teaching, critical thinking, and research that is the core business plan of higher education? But at this point, let us cut to the chase. So many fine words. What is all this learning about? The actor and writer Michael Palin once characterized it as mucking about, being creative with whatever the gifts one has. And the very best aspects of being a teacher is that one has the magic of working with people whom the world typecasts as students. I prefer to think that a student is nothing less than an individual with the restless intelligence to learn, challenge, and make anew. In short, to muck about, and maybe not rush too fast, to grow up and take on the assumptions and inhibitions of earlier generations. Working in the corridors of higher education turned out to be no less challenging and scary than the spaces of every creative industry, with government policy of every political persuasion requiring new rhythms of teaching and learning, student funding, and a techno beat, sometimes unclear of the rhythms to which both student and tutor might dance. That dance of resilience and advocacy offers, I suggest, an access code to working in the ever-changing places of both creative industries and higher education. Some people will speak of how differentiated those spaces are, using language that suggests great division. One, the real world, the other, education. Necessarily at a distance, having different values and needs. In all the privilege of my work with and for Ravensbourne, time and again, I've learned that what divides industry in all its manifestations from higher education is far less than that which may be shared. Negotiate to the mutual benefit of all parties, whatever the dance. In my first job for Ravensbourne, conscious of how limited the material resource was at that time, I telephoned a broadcasting company wondering whether I might seek a source of help beneficial to students, tutors, and management. Help proved to be forthcoming, but the words that I may never forget, even years later, was the statement, "You're the first college or university ever to call us." Could one imagine such a void now at this point in the 21st century? That phrase, "to boldly go," from an early storytelling franchise, Star Trek, still resonates if education and industry are to nurture each other. My subject field, the media of film and television, has over long years grown to be a powerful heartbeat permeating the creative subjects across design and communication in this college. There is, at its best, a remarkable serendipity across all that is learned and taught at Ravensbourne. Resilience and advocacy was, and is, always in those shared conversations looking for creative opportunities between industry and education. In the earlier days of Ravensbourne's investment supporting a student experience that would balance personal motivation with professional understanding, much of the means of enabling that education in terms of material resource came from industry, particularly ITV and the burgeoning world of post-production based largely in London's Soho. What drove that willingness to help from so many employers was just that, the need to find new talent, new makers and doers, both creative and grounded in relevant professional practice. In short, a very clear need for continuing conversation between industry and education in order to help both continue to survive in difficult times. And in times more promising, to flourish with every opportunity that imagination and a workable business plan might illuminate. On this day of celebration of student achievement, one should say there is much to be proud of talking of student learning, academic achievement, or employability. And I suggest one should also be proud, never complacent, but reflect critically on the reputation that Ravensbourne has in those places of work and engagement in which its graduates continue to make their mark, whatever the subjects of their studies. Every student who graduates today has come to that achievement through exercising resilience in how they address the subject for which they have passion and how they retain confidence in navigating all that impacts on everyday experience, and not least on being able to afford the financial cost. There was a time working for Ravensbourne when I had a responsibility for negotiating placements in the broadcasting industry, collaborating on employment initiatives, and often exercising diplomacy in the acquisition of professional equipment to support students in their studies. Sometimes in difficult moments when that dance to which I referred might be proving troublesome, I needed to be reminded of how my own resilience in that job always sat in a clear space of advocacy for Ravensbourne. Once, when I asked the managing director of an award-winning broadcast company, "What do you think Ravensbourne has to offer you?" the answer was so simple, so direct. "Your students. We won't be in business in 5 years if Ravensbourne does not help us to find new talent." That message then is still the message now. But I wish to affirm that partnership between resilience and advocacy by sharing with you a story that illuminates for me the evidence of trust between industry and education. It's a story set a few years ago. It could be some years in the future. Ravensbourne was seeing some very aggressive activity from another university, who were calling into question the college's proficiency and whether we were well connected, as we claimed to be. It led to a 3-day review and a further audit from this university in the same subject field. We were confident we had our connections in industry and in education lined up to attend the review. On the morning of the audit, Ravensbourne had a message that in the circumstances nobody in the college wished to hear. With many apologies, the ITV network meeting took precedence. I called the offices of one of Soho's leading post-production companies, one of the mavericks of that then new industry, one of our other friends in industry, desperate to see if any help could come from that quarter, putting to the test yet again Ravensbourne's skills in networking. Half an hour later, we received a message that their MD was on the way. 10 minutes before the big meeting commenced, Andrew, we may call him Andrew, arrived at speed in his Jaguar. In his case, it always had to be a Jaguar. As we hurried down the corridor, Andrew asked me what this was all about. I said, "The opposition's in town, they're in a critical mood." I knew that Andrew loved that film genre, the Western. "Got it," he said. That was the briefing. That was all that needed to be said. That was the trust relationship. The next 2 hours were full of magic. Events were infused with the energy that could only come from the truth of Ravensbourne's confident relationship with industry. Resilience, advocacy sat in every moment of those conversations. I believe I can't say that the audit visitors put away their clipboards. Whatever happened is illustrating that spirit of confidence that sits in that relationship. It was as if everyone at Ravensbourne in a team all shared a working knowledge of shared script that was in every mind but did not exist on a single page. I could list the many times the college and industry have worked together. Here are just 4. Ravensbourne educated and trained all of ITN's news teams in the use of the new tech of the day, electronic news gathering. Training broadcasters in stereophonic sound in broadcasting. Post-production, editing in the cloud. The only higher education provider granted a limited broadcasting license by Ofcom. And so on, and so on. There are many current colleagues in this space today who have contributed to these stories of success. And it must be noted that film and television do not stand alone as subjects. Where would those industries be without the artistic ambition and thriving cultures of photography, sound, and animation? One medium cultivates another, and as other storytelling appears in the form of 3D, virtual reality, and augmented reality, so they add a shared opportunity to offer new gifts in human experience, so that the most fundamental person in all of these further adventures in lighting and sound, who is us, may enjoy and benefit from them. Everyone in this space, whatever we choose to call ourselves, whether listeners, viewers, interactive users or participants. In all our creativity, we work with the wonder that sits in the properties of that word, light. Whether physical or metaphor, in our application of that word, we learn to differentiate between light projected and light reflected. That is at the heart of our study of concepts of the visual world, whatever the specific titles of our academic study. If we're any good at what we do, we never abandon our sense of curiosity and a sense of wonder, but be resilient in working with others and never lose advocacy for what might be the next creative idea. Of course, collaboration often encounters difficulties. Things don't go necessarily the way some might intend. But that, forgive me for stating the obvious, is where I'd advocate the student experience at Ravensbourne is at its very best. In the domain of television, for example, I'm talking of the experience of going live. By that phrase, I mean having to work in real time, having to work to deadlines, and above all, the excitement and the frustrations, yes, indeed, the agony and the ecstasy of working with other people whom everyone has to trust. Above all, having to get whatever one is making, say a program, right first time. No chance of a retake, having no second chance. Where did I learn that? Well, I think I know exactly where I first understood that fundamental message in communication. As a very junior member of what the BBC rather grandiloquently called Apollo Special Projects. I worked on the broadcast coverage of Apollo 11, otherwise known in human history as the first piloted landing by human beings on the surface of the moon. One phrase rings out from that time and that adventure of the human spirit. It is the phrase, failure is not an option. Well, what might we learn from that event in terms of us as human beings? At the time, it was the largest world audience for international television broadcasting. These days, it would be online. Same thing, huge. By the time of the next lunar expedition, the audience halved. Viewers of the day expressing the emotion that this is boring. We know how to go to the moon. And then Apollo 13, later filmed, when all 3 crew members came very close to losing their lives. And because we're very human, the audience viewing figures bounce back skywards, because when we sense fear, we also express hope. That adversity is overcome. That is what, in every domain of the creative industries, we call storytelling, the lens of drama through which all our challenging times we may measure our lives. By recognizing kindness in ourselves and others, forgive me. One of the best current exemplars in Ravensbourne of education and industry working together is the collaboration with the Royal Shakespeare Company to broadcast live to both primary and secondary schools. The purpose is to enable an ever-growing constituency of students and schools to engage with Shakespeare as a writer, not of the past, but as an author whose words resonate in our current understanding of society. The drama of life now through the imagination of storytelling then. It is in this collaborative enterprise of this kind that a sense of taking a risk in doing something very challenging exerts its presence. And at the same time, for anyone learning, the need to trust in oneself and in others with whom one is working, not only fellow students, but tutors and all the other individuals with a range of specialist skills will also support the student experience. Registry, quality, student services, finance, many others. As a student graduating today, you may only know of their existence in moments of difficulty, but they're all there in this collegiate community. And what might I mean by that word difficulty? Not understanding a project, financial challenge, ill health, falling behind in terms of assessments, peer group pressure. All of these and many others might be a reason for anyone graduating today to have found themselves struggling while trying to achieve their degree. It's exactly at this point that we must remind ourselves to challenge critically those earlier words, failure is not an option. If by the word failure we may mean making mistakes, then failure is very much an option. This is higher education. How else might any one of us truly learn other than by making mistakes? Better still, admitting to those mistakes. Best of all, learning from those mistakes. And in the process, if this student experience of higher education has genuinely led us out of any cage of confusion or cavern of despair, it is because we may know ourselves individually just a little bit better. We should learn to be truthful to ourselves, and may I assert, in opening up to that notion of self, exercise kindness in ourselves and to those around us. Professional working practice and industry come and sometimes go. Technology rightly will always shout out many promises and then sometimes forget them the following year. But recognizing kindness in ourselves and in others, that may be the toughest call of all. There is no price tag for being kind other than from time to time in this wonderful creative space of opportunity to learn to look away from the screen of the tech in our hand to what is happening just beyond that frame. Most storytellers talk with ambition of creating something that could change the world. Exercising kindness might just change anyone's world, anyone in this space. The choice is ours to look obsessively into ourselves or to look outwards at others. It's a choice for every new day. One more story. As a first-year student in another higher education galaxy that you might think is a long, long way away, I was privileged to have a tutor, professor of international reputation in my subject field. Every week I presented this tutor with work that in recollection did not shout committed student. In our final meeting of that academic term, he asked me how I thought my work was progressing. Like many a student then, and maybe now, I believe I gave him every reason, many absurd, as to why my work not have been quite up to the mark that the university had good reason to expect. Surely no fault could sit with me. He looked at me in a very kindly manner, not condescending, not patronizing, not even bored, and remarked, "The weather this summer has been remarkably good." It was all that tutor had to say to remind me of the many other ways that I'd spent my time on my own and with other students in that summer. That sentence was all that I needed to be given some motivation for a better vision of my future. That was Academy Award-winning feedback from a tutor to a student. He'd shared with me, not raising any voice, that at heart my future, my work ethic, sat with me and not in the blame game offered by others. His reflection was, and continues to be, a kindness. What really is for me the most challenging form of communication? Well, I make no apologies. It is poetry, the form of sharing emotions and ideas in which so much may be said, sometimes in so few words. And anyone in this space who's ever sought to write a song will know that challenge. I'd like to share two voices that mean a lot to me, and in the spirit of kindness, I hope might encourage anyone in this space to be true to themselves, whoever you are, whatever you might choose to think or to feel. Today, you are graduating to go forward, not to stand still. One voice from the 19th century, the Russian poet Alexander Pushkin. Be attentive, muse, to the commandments of God, fearing no insult, asking for no crown. Receive with indifference both flattery and slander, and do not argue with a fool. And one from the 20th century, the British poet and performer David Bowie. We can be heroes just for one day. We can be us just for one day. Both Pushkin and Bowie in their creative lives revealed remarkable ability to reinvent themselves. I take courage and much inspiration from that notion, in a perception that has taken a strangely extended period of time to emerge, blinking into the light of my own work. Any teacher and any learner are on a shared adventure, and both to bring the best to their current worlds needs to be ever adept and agile at reinventing themselves. And now in this part of the 21st century, in all your creativity, personal and professional, the doing and the making, what will you, graduates of today, make with all of your talents? What may nurture your inspiration? Who may be your heroes? Do not forget Ravensbourne. It will not forget you as it now makes another move forward to be a remarkable place of learning, in which hopefully poetry may mesh with technology in journeys of learning still to be imagined. My thanks for the honor that you have conferred on me today. My congratulations to everyone here who has made this space such a place of celebration of student achievement in 2017. Thank you very much.
Thank you for those many insightful words, Professor Barr. I would now like to hand over to the Dean of the School of Media, Dr. Gary Pritchard, who will announce the awards.
Thank you, Professor Drew. Okay, this is your moment, and we're going to begin with the FDSC Digital Media Technology. And you're first, so congratulations. Isaac Chenery. Daniel John Cook. Barrett Jane. Suleiman Mahi. Jade Montague. Sean Allen Norgate. Alex Anthony Parry. Daniel Ragol Levy. And Michelle Robinson. We now move on to BA Honours Animation. Andrew Aratu Benedetti. Chanel Colbert. Lisa Cooper. Malachi Joshua Duncan. Alice Geary. Victoria Geary. Akram Mubin Hussain. Natasha Kirk. Daniel Longi. Ryan Morrison. Shadid Omar Mohammed. Rhys Murray. Fung Mei Pang. Jake Preedy. Jitten Ray. Julia Gracieli Russo. Giuseppe Santi Russo. Zuhab Ullah. We now move on to broadcast audio technology. And Chris Aris. Sure. Now broadcast computing, BSc Honours. Alice Emil Hakim. Shakruma Melvin Opine. Haley Warren. Broadcast Systems Technology, BSc Honours. Max Alexander May. Next, we move on to Digital Film Production, BA Honours. For Ajimi Abatan. Zaman Ahmed. Dominic Mfufuma. Valerie Iri Akapomonimi. Qasim Alam. Ivanella Atasanova. Jack Edward Spear Bailey. Peter Stephen Aber Bamforth. Ersan Basarkadis. Peter Bishop. Tomás Casamires Blawat. Chloe Amber Burrell. Uzea Chetin. Rupert Colgrave. Jordan James Cox. Jed Darlington Roberts. Hannah Davis. Molly Diable. William Dudley. George Ellsworth. Joshua Evans. Kate Fleming. Samuel Fullerton. Craig Gambell. Alexander John Green. Alice Groves. Rupert Groves. Jackson A.V. Giori. Eleanor Heron Anstead. Emmett Holmes Boyce. Dominic Houghton. Edward Howes. Angela Inconis. Bethany Jeffries. Yasmin John. James Johnson. Joseph Samuel Kidd. Simon King. Prince Mensah. Claudia Merlini. Christopher Montengo. Roland Montgomery. Liam Morgan. Olivia Louise Norman Reed. Naomi Ngozi Nwazini. Jameisha Prescott. Thomas Idris Gawain Rees. Isabel Preston. James Sheridan Vigo. Jessica Simmons. Gurdev Singh Potwal. Rebecca Skinner. William Skinner. Holly Stinton. Bradley Thomas. Joseph Trod. Simona Vayakut. Liam Wallace Cook. Benjamin James Warburton. George Welland. Nicola Westfell. Nicole, sorry. Joshua Wildig. Thomas Wilson. Benjamin Wilton. Alfred Wright. We're now moving on to BA Honours Digital Photography, and first we have Julius Agra. Nana Asibi. Cree Bashford. Leona Beckles Davis. Ina Bolgansky. Matthew Buchanan. Brogan Collis. Daniela Conde Quinones. Brinley Davis. Alexander Dell. Holly Faria. Shani Marie Fountain. Samuel Richard Goodrich. James Grimshaw. Avery Alexandria Holland. Naomi Hunter. Ellie King. Molly Manning. Joshua Manson. Felix Rupert Miles McCabe. Iona Christina Mitria. Tung Ji Peng. Kenny Mutombo. David Roy Pollard. Alexander Rox. Benjamin Rowland. Isabel Saunders. Katie Simmons. Shanice Stannett. Vanessa Wan. Anne-Marie Elizabeth Ward. We now move on to BA Honours Digital Television Production, and we begin with Shannon Rose Allen. Oliver David Baker. Rebecca Barden. Sophie Bishop. Hannah Mary Bohr. Hannah Bradley. Harry Bray. Jack Brown. Kubra Sengiz. Gareth Clark. Ellie Cody. Sigourney Monique Dean. Zoe Dust. Dominic John Grace. Harriet Graver. Joe Harden. Olivia Hards. Rachel Howen. Grace Habrin Westwood. Cameron Robert Russell Hayter. Alexander Head. Georgia Hearn. Nicholas Robin Hedild Yingrid. Samuel Howard Hilton. Molly Hinton. Kieran Hudson. Thomas James. Richard Michael Jones. Alistair Lee Smith. Daniel McGuinness. Sophie Mayer. Robert Murray. Stephen Philip Pearson. Imogen Power. Evie Roslin. Ali Stewart. Philip Thompson. Jennifer Nicole Timpson. Duco Verenmeyer. Tabitha Wade Scriven. Rebecca Ellen Mary Ward. Shazel Windles Wilson. And Matthew James Wright. We now move on to BA Honours Editing and Post-Production, and we begin with Adibel Al-Farabi. Jonathan Chigubiran Akata. Shakila Aman Alexander. Dale Anker. Louis Astle. Jack Claude Austin. Omalaid Aoudi. Christian Allen Baker. Rami Bardanan. Thomas Bond. Leah Chambers. Sean Chitter. Aidan Jamie Clements. Jasmine Cooper. Phoebe Cross. Franco Daniel Kun Soto. Daisy Deshvali. Archibald Alexander Embling. Billy Amber Goldman. Susanna Grabovic. Alexander Dominic Lee. Hin Yan Lee. Alexander Stephen Daniel Lewin. Richard Murphy. Dominic James Phipps. Connor Ponsford. Alexander Laurie Reed. Bethan Mayer Roberts. Hassan Robley. Liam Ruff. Josu Samuel. Wesley Sethi. William Shahida. Louis Somerville. Thomas Swift. James Taylor. Ben James War. James West. Liam White. We now move on to BA Honours Music for Media, and we begin with Lawrence Baldwin. Philip Bell. Eliza May Daly. James William DeBain. Amy Farrell. Edward Hamilton. Hannah MacDonald. Fifi Bouakea Mensah. Ryan Peters. Saul Robinson. Lee Teo. And Philip Richard William Vidler. Next, we have Outside Broadcast Technology, which is BSc Honours, and we begin with Matthew Levine. Andrew Blair Seeds. Charles Sharp. Joseph Skelly. Lucy Victoria Emma Slocum. We now move on to BA Honours Sound Design, and we begin with Joseph Edward Adams. Matthew Atherton. Timothy Burton. Jacob Chittenden. Yannias Dobrovakis. Elliot Luke Jasmine Baker. Jay Lewis. Jake Lofts. Paolo Pavesi. Christopher James Seymour Rowbottom. Benjamin Williams. Finally, we move on to BA Honours Web Media Production, and we begin with Ade Kunele Androhi. Kieran Bailey. Ryder Barnes. Harry Peter DeFolco. Joseph Dunkley. John Leighton Gwilym. Luke Henry. Callum Holland. Shaharan Reina Karim. Jack Kamish. Aidan McVeigh. Ollie Norris. Sanjeev Pardesi. And Johan Williamson. I'd now like to welcome to the stage graduating student Jack Brown to respond on behalf of the student body. Jack.
Oh, that's a long old walk. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, friends, family, teaching staff, members of the board, the deans, Linda, the mayor, and of course, my fellow graduates. What an honour it is for me to be delivering this speech today on behalf of the student body on this, our graduation day. There honestly isn't a combination I like more than a captive audience and fancy dress. Today is a very momentous occasion for us all. It is the culmination of everything we have worked so hard for, cried over, laughed over, and for some of us, got in hot water over. Nevertheless, it's wonderful that all of our friends and family are here today to witness the fruition of all of our hard work over the past 3 years. I have to say, it's been a pretty daunting task for me to try and put into words and sum up our experiences during our time here at Ravensbourne. I actually enlisted the help of my friends to help jog my memory of some of the more standout moments, but sadly, I'm either gagged from talking about them or they simply weren't appropriate to mention in this speech. However, that night we ordered by the Tray and the Slug, invented a new language, and got airlifted home will always be a personal highlight. There are, of course, many achievements that we can talk about today, and one example of this is our annual degree show, something which many of us here today played a massive part of. That time is always a bit of a blur. We worked ridiculous hours and poured our heart and soul into a show that we loved. As students, we had a lot of responsibility, and we just did things that no other university or college does, like launching a Freeview channel, totally rebranding the place from top to bottom, and hiring the voice of the X Factor, Peter Dixon, to host our awards night. He said himself on that very night in 2016, "I am blown away by the amount of equipment and professionalism of everyone involved in this show. I've worked on fully funded, full-spec professional broadcasts that aren't anything like this." And it was moments like these that I realised why Ravensbourne was such a special place. Because ultimately, being involved in something like this, as well as all the other external shows such as D&AD, Graduate Fashion Week, and Free Range, it taught us more than anything we could ever learn in a classroom. It was these real-world practices that made us more knowledgeable, more resilient, and better prepared for the industry. It made us more employable, and I'm happy to see that so many of us have walked straight into industry jobs since leaving Ravensbourne. Those times were some of the most fun ever, and whilst I'm pretty sure the majority of us did all cry at one point, it was honestly one of the most rewarding experiences of my life. And I'm proud that the degree show, something which we all help to create every year, will go down in history as a very memorable part of our experience. I also want to take this time to say a few thank yous. Obviously, I want to thank our director, Professor Linda Drew, the deans, Gary and Lawrence, the associate deans, and most of all, the course leaders and teaching staff. But I also want to say thanks to some of the more unsung heroes of Ravensbourne, everyone who works in professional services, the behind-the-scenes people. Thank you also to the marketing, events, and outreach teams, as well as all the cleaners and facility staff. Some of the best early morning chats I ever had was with Emma, Manuel, and Kazim in front of house. There are, of course, far too many people and teams to mention, but thank you to every single person, both individually and collectively. You make Ravensbourne the friendly and welcoming place that it is. On a more personal level, I want to thank our wonderful families and our gorgeous friends from whom we learned so much. I'm lucky that my two sisters, my auntie, are in the audience over there, and my amazing friends, who I literally couldn't have done it without, are sat all over there. Thank you for being our rocks and supporting us throughout all of the good and bad times. I always said when we finish, the friends that we make here at Ravensbourne are worth more than any degree. So finally, as we approach the end of this ceremony and consign our time to the history books, I'm going to leave you with a quote. Because just like my dissertation, I should probably include one somewhere. Ricky Gervais once wrote, "Life isn't about endings, it's just a series of moments." And whilst our time at Ravensbourne may have finished, it's not the end, and today is simply a new moment for us to shine. Graduating class of 2017, we did it.
Thank you, Jack. That was even better second time around. I think you'll agree it's been an inspiring day for all of us, and I'd now like to welcome to close our ceremony, Governor Nathan Donaldson.
Well, thank you. It's been an absolutely amazing ceremony, and you've been a fantastic audience. The atmosphere has just been amazing. It's just been so enjoyable to see the ceremony today. It's been a long ceremony, and I probably appreciate you now want to get out there and celebrate with your family and your friends. So I've got two bits of good news. It is the final speech, and I'm going to be very short. So one... really just to echo on an earlier speech, go out and do good work in your name and in Ravensbourne's name. Thank you so much for your time here and your commitment to Ravensbourne. So one final applause for everyone. And my final responsibility is to ask you to be all upstanding for the Mayor's procession.